Hello there, my name is Sam, I go by the Nervous Eye, and today we're going to be talking about Sorry Baby, a film that made some waves at Sundance earlier this year, receiving a lot of praise where A24 picked it up for distribution, and as usual with A24 releases, it came out in the US a few weeks ago, and it's now out in the UK today. But I was fortunate enough to go to a screening of this early, which featured a Q&A with the film's director, Eva Victor. This is her debut feature film, I might add, and it's always pretty exciting getting to listen to a director talk about any film, let alone their first major release, especially a director that is also the writer and the lead role here and has such a clear grasp of the type of film they want to make. Obviously, I didn't ask any questions. I think the name of my channel is good enough explanation as to why, but I sat and listened to a director that talked about this film with such a clear and precise vision, and also offered up some really great details as to why certain things are the way they are in this film. It's clearly a deeply personal work, and I can see this resonating with a lot of people. I've been patiently waiting for this film for a while, and it did not disappoint. In fact, I'm pretty floored by it, to be honest, and even now that I'm sat here talking to you, I still don't think I've quite picked up all of my thoughts on it. A couple of moments in this film really left me speechless. It's an astonishing debut. It has a voice that feels unique, but talks with a confidence and grace that gets to the heart of the pain here in a way that I really connected with, and I think a lot of other people will too. It's a drama and a comedy. It does deal with sexual assault, and although I won't go into plot details in this review, it is a heavy subject and deserves a trigger warning, so please do keep that in mind as we go into the review, or if you do want to go and see this film. So the film focuses on the character of Agnes, played by Eva Victor herself, and the IMDb synopsis puts it, something bad happens to Agnes, but life goes on, for everyone around her at least. So Agnes is a literary professor and living in a rural town, and the film follows her life after, as the film puts it, the bad thing happens. It's split into 5 chapters, which have been referred to as the lost years, but the trauma here does not weigh down the film. In fact, this film feels like a hug, and one that holds on tight. And what impressed me most is how real and honest this film feels. It doesn't stay down, it keeps moving and handles its thoughts and tones with such a natural flow. Its pacing is gentle but rewarding. It's really funny, and the jokes never disrupt or displace a scene. They feel part of the joy of everyday life and perfectly at home with the characters' emotions in the moment. There is a tentative anxiety and awkwardness to Agnes, but she often expresses herself with a wonderful sense of humor. I think the writing is just so good here. Her perspective is so engaging, and like I said earlier, it feels real. I can't stress enough how natural it all comes. There is such great intonation in Eva Victor's performance and the delivery of her lines, lines which will stick with you, I might add. Life keeps going on in this film, but not everything gets left behind. And it can feel like a ghost story at times too. There are moments in here that touch on the lingering nature of the bad thing in different ways, but there is hope here. And it can take a moment to feel it. And I think that's important because despite its humor, the film never undermines the seriousness of the situation. There's a lot of nuance at play, and it can feel messy and it can feel unpredictable, but never less than honest. Agnes's best friend in this is Liddy, played by Naomi Aki, and what a marvelous energy she brings to the role. In a similar sense to the film Lollipop, which I saw earlier this year, which you should definitely check out, Agnes and Lydia's friendship really is the beating heart of this film. Lydia is a friend that will do anything for Agnes, and the chemistry they have is infectious. You feel safe when they are together, and they give each other a warmth that few films can do so convincingly. By the end of this, you will want to reach out to your closest friend and hold them tight and fight off the world for them. I love the cinematography here. There's some really great choices in how certain scenes are shot. There is an emptiness in the framing sometimes, which can feel quite haunting. I love the softening of the edges in some of the wider shots. And the music is a delicate but impactful presence too. It's a score that feels like it ripples and reverberates. But this film is just so well directed. It feels so intimate, and it really impacted me. I'm usually scurrying home frantically writing notes on my phone after I've seen a film that I want to talk about, but I took a longer route home today thinking about this one. There are so many decisions in the filmmaking here that just work. I really loved the writing. I love the humor, especially the second half of this film. There is some really great laugh out loud moments with impeccable comic timing. It's an important film, one that I think speaks and connects with a gentle embrace. I said the same in my Life of Chuck review earlier this week actually, but I walked out of this film feeling like I'd gained a new companion. It's certainly going to stay with me. I think this film really is a true comfort. This one really is quite special. Really seemed to resonate with the audience at my screening. It comes out in cinemas today, so please go and see this one, but I think I'm going to leave it there. But if you are new around here, please do consider subscribing and let me know what you think of the film in the comments. And now all that's left to do is to thank you very much for watching.